Hey guys, it's Paula from the SheHH Podcast team and welcome back to SheHH, where we interview women in Christian music all around the world. In today's episode, we speak to UK DJ and producer DJ Shunz. She's been a key player in the UK gospel scene for quite a while, so we asked her about Christian music here. We also spoke to her about being shouted out by Lecrae and all the great amazing things she's been doing since then. We know you guys are going to enjoy this episode, so we hope that you'd follow us on Instagram and TikTok at SheHH Podcast and make sure to share this episode with a friend. Hey Shunz.
Hi.
Welcome to the SheHH Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Like, as soon as we got in touch and you were actually interested, I was actually really excited because this was a long time coming.
Yeah, it's true.
So for anyone who's listening, watching, who doesn't know you, who is DJ Shunz?
So like you said, I'm a DJ, so I do events like christenings, weddings, birthdays. I also DJ on radio for Premier Gospel. And yeah, I'm a producer as well, so I produce music and make tracks. Just started writing as well. So yeah, just exploring the production of music, like what it takes, and just feeling my way out really. So DJ, producer.
And how long have you been DJing for?
DJing since 2014, but properly since 2018. So what's that, 3 years?
Yeah,
3-4 years.
3-4 years, yeah.
And then producing like a year.
Oh,
so very new, baby in this.
Yeah, how did you fall into DJing and then later on producing?
Yeah, so DJing literally was like an aunt's birthday. I was like, I'll do the music, and just started practicing, learning how to DJ. And then I was like, I actually really like this. I like the effect it has on people. Like it was so like seeing everyone dance to like the music I'm playing, just like it was moreish. Like I just wanted to keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. So yeah, that's how I fell into DJing. Literally just put myself forward and then just ended up loving it. And then producing was like someone spoke to me about it, and it wasn't anything that I was interested in at the time.
Okay, you were just kind of enjoying the DJ side of things.
Enjoying the DJing, but then not so much because obviously it was lockdown. So at that period in time, I wasn't really doing anything, to be honest. I think I didn't DJ for like 7-8 months during lockdown and so forth.
Pandemic.
And I was just like at that crossroads of like, what do I want to do? Do I even want to still be a DJ? And then the opportunity with Premier came up, and then I was exploring like music and stuff. I had an idea, which is Armour. I had the idea for Armour, and then I was like, should I give the idea to someone or should I do it myself? Yeah. Then I just was like, I'm going to try and do it myself, basically.
I mean, you just dropped the name Armour. Yeah. That's the first debut single.
Yeah.
Woo, super exciting. Yeah. I mean, you already knew before this came on, we were talking about, I'm a big fan of the song.
Yeah.
But can you tell us the process of like coming up with the concept, writing it, then getting all the collaborations involved as well?
Yeah. So I had the idea. I knew I wanted like male, female, male on a song, wanted it to be hype, wanted it to be vibes. Like the idea was like when I'm out DJing and it's like a gospel event, but I'm allowed to play secular, I end up playing loads of secular because I'm like, okay, what's going to keep them dancing? Like there's not always a lot of go-to tracks for me depending on the type of crowd. So I was like, I want to produce music that people can dance to. So when I'm out DJing, I want music I can play.
Yeah.
Literally that was it. And then had the idea for Armour and was like, I want something that they're gonna just dance to. And just started speaking with different people about it, and other people just got excited about it. And then man, it just.
But who are the collabs actually on the song though?
So we've got SheHH, which is my boy, like he literally lives next door. And then we've got Maestro, which was one of the first people I actually told about the song and the idea and the concept, and he was like, he caught the vision straight away, and he was there backing me from the beginning. Then Ayana, because I obviously wanted the female on it. Yeah. And Nathaniel, who's actually in Trinidad, like he was just someone I was listening to.
Wow, international, you know.
He was like someone I was listening to. And when I spoke to Nathaniel, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to make it international. So I'm going to get someone from the Caribbean, someone from America, someone from the UK, because it was 3 people originally. But then, yeah, it just ended up being what it is. I played the beat to Siege, and then he was like, I want to be on it. Because like originally I knew like the people that I wanted to be on it, but he was like, I want to be on it. Then when he came up with the chorus, I was like, okay, cool. Like I can see you got the vision. Yeah. So then it just ended up being what it is today, really.
Now, I love when people catch your vision and run with it. Yeah. It's the encouragement to be like, this is it. And this song, Armour it's not a one-time thing, right?
Yeah.
You are planning, I mean, if we even, so from the time of filming this, you on studio literally yesterday.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about potential new music?
Potential new music, still a vibe. Like... Yeah, do you know what though? It's really weird. It's changing. So when I first started, it was all like, yeah, they have to be able to dance to it. But now I'm kind of, maybe because it's colder now, I'm getting into like the more slowed down, like stripped back, like my heart. So I think to come, you'll see like more of my heart, more of what God is saying to me. And just speaking about seasons that I've gone through or I'm going through more so. But yeah, still got vibes, still like banging beats.
Nice.
And yeah, but I think the first few singles are all going to be more like hype and vibes.
And are you going to do collaborations as well again?
Loads of collaborations.
You're big on collaboration, which we love at SheHH. Like we're all about collabing. What is it about like working with people on a track that works for you?
I just like bringing people together, literally, like it's my thing. So yeah, just speaking to different people and just like, I don't know, it's just like, I have an idea and I just think of people. I'm like, yeah, this would fit this person. And then when they're on it, it just becomes what it is. Yeah, man.
I love that. Love that. I mean, this is all really nice and positive, but I would love to know and just understand a bit more about any challenges that you've experienced as a DJ, as a female DJ, as someone who works within the music industry. What's something you've had to overcome?
It's mad. People ask me this question all the time and I'm like, what have I actually... I don't know if my memory is not long or if I'm suppressing because I'm like, I'm
everything's
thinking...
being rosy and
I've been thinking hard. A couple things that I say, like when people ask me this, like sometimes at weddings, like uncles be coming up to me and cussing me for not playing Afro beats when Afro beats is clearly playing. But when I speak to my friends, they're like, uncle basically wants me to play like High Life or some fella.
Old school.
Yeah. That's what uncle's talking about. So
he doesn't want anything new, anything 2000s. No.
Nah. There's that. And I think I've spoken about this before, like when you're on tour and then you come home, it's like a come down. Because obviously you've been on a high, you're traveling around, excitement, crowd, everything. Come home and it's like, oh, like it's all over. Like, what do I do now? Sometimes it's kind of hard to stay focused. So you have to kind of know, okay, that's a period and that's a season and now we're going to move on to something new. So that's like 2 things I can think of quickly that have like been challenges for me.
Even touching on that, because I recently realized that you do tour. It's obviously because of like lockdown and stuff that you've not been like out here touring. How have you been able to balance that with the rest of your life? Because obviously as creatives, a lot of the time we could literally like blinkers on, just do your creation, do all the cool stuff and move. How do you kind of keep doing the rest of your life? Obviously you're a mother as well, like doing the rest of your life. How do you do that?
Literally family and friends. Like if I never had the support I have from my husband, I wouldn't be going nowhere because I'll be at home with kids. Well, I have with child, like that would be my life. Like I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So literally support from my husband, support from my friends, mum, sister, like people just chipping in, like having an understanding of like what I'm doing and stuff and just supporting me. Like I couldn't do it without them. Like I couldn't even imagine it or know how I would do it without them. It's mad. But yeah, literally family, friends just keeping me grounded and supporting me and helping me. Like I have my friends downloading music the day before. I'm like, I need to help, guys. Like all sorts. Like I don't know how I do it without them. I'll just be a mess. Everyone says I leave everything to the last minute, so things will just not get done. Basically,
you were super organized with this. Well, I mean, I wasn't speaking to you, was I? No. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? You got people in your corner.
Yeah,
you got a team in your corner.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm so glad you mentioned that, because part of the reason why we started this podcast was we noticed that there weren't a lot of women in a lot of spaces, and we were wondering why.
Yeah.
And I think what you touched on, the fact that you have support, like you have a husband that's willing to support you, you have family that's willing to support you. Not everyone does have that. And so if they wanted to go on tour, you know, even just as an artist, if they wanted to be a tour DJ, if they wanted to do these things, it's like, who's going to pick up the slack for me? Who's going to make sure that I actually have a home to come back to?
Trying to make me cry.
It's heartwarming to see.
Yeah,
it's so heartwarming to see.
You.
And it's something that as a creative, I've been able to have as well. You know, I always knew that if things failed, my parents were at home, I could go back home.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad to know that not all women have that.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to touch on, okay, maybe not telling them to go get married or whatever, but like maybe touch on where can people find the support when they really feel like they're doing this game by themselves?
Do you know what? It has to just be in like-minded people, because we understand what it takes and what you're going through. That's the only thing I could think of if I never had family. It's like, okay, so in terms of a team, like who's there or who's around me, who's willing to support me in that, guys, I guess that would be like my next point of call.
Yeah.
Because like you said, with like organizing things, if I never had my PA, like nothing would be, I remember before her, nothing was organized. Like people was waiting weeks for emails and stuff. Like, I don't know what I would do without team and like people that are forward thinking. So like my manager, like her being forward thinking or saying, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Or even bringing like gigs and things to me. Like it literally is team and family and friends.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. That's why when you talk about collaboration, it makes me really happy, because a lot of people don't understand the power that comes from collaboration.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman in this game. When you do meet other women or even other guys that are doing something similar to you, like you said, like-minded, that's the encouragement you need to actually keep going, because you will reach times where you're like, do you know what? Forget this. I'm done. I'm going home.
I've been there.
I'm going home. But like when someone comes back to you like, hey, Armour was good, but where's the second track? Or like, hey, I saw you at that gig like 2 years ago. It's been a while. Like, that's when you're like, actually, people care about this. Yeah. This is ministry, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's ever said to you what you do is ministry, but what you do is ministry. Yeah. Like someone booking you instead of DJ whoever to come and do their event means that they can get some life-giving music brought to their event instead of, you know, Break It Down or whatever, you know? I hear you. So, it's just, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for reminding people that, hey, you don't actually have to do this by yourself. Like, you don't have to be that strong woman and doing it all alone. Like, that's not what we're about. We want you to feel like you can find people.
Yeah, man, there's support. There is support. It's just finding your people. Like I've heard it said before, like finding your tribe. Yeah. So it's those people that are there for you, that understand, that are willing to work with you. Because not everyone's like out for themselves. There is people that are team players and so forth. So it's literally praying to God and asking him to like send the right people to be around you, to assist you, and it's not one way. Like there's people that I have to help as well. It's not just for me. So I try to be collaborative in everything. So if I can help someone else, I don't necessarily expect to get something back. Yeah.
It's not like you scratch my back, I'm going to come and do it.
It doesn't have to always be like that. That's nice.
Nice too.
I like that. Listen, but it doesn't. There's times I've helped people or whatever, they haven't done anything, and I guess vice versa. So yeah, I guess that's the way the world works as well in general. That's what keeps the world turning and going. Yeah.
100%. You mentioned your manager. Is your manager Palumi?
Yeah.
I love Palumi. We love her. We are big Palumi fans.
Yeah.
Because she's someone who just loves music. Yeah. And loves the people that are making the music. Yeah. Like I call her, this is so funny. I don't know if she's not gonna buy this. I call her like my partner in the game. Yeah. As in we're two people who, first of all, we're fans of the game. Like we're fans of music. We're fans of UK gospel. We're fans of people in this space. And because we're fans of it, we'll do anything to protect this space and to promote this space. And when I met her, it's so funny because we met for the first time on like a Limo Blaze video shoot. Yeah. And I'd known of each other for a while. She was the first person I met that was like, oh my gosh, you think about this the same as me. Yeah. And so when she was like, oh yeah, you know, I've been like working with DJ Shunz, I was like, that that makes sense. You know, that really it's connecting. It's connecting. Like it makes sense because you're both two women who really cared about music in this space and wanted people to be blessed by something that a lot of people don't seem to care too much about. So I just realized, I was like, oh, let me check. That's Palumi.
She's vibes, man.
She's vibes. Everyone loves her. She's amazing.
Yeah, man.
She's great.
Amazing.
But I did want to ask you about the UK gospel scene.
Yeah.
Because you're an award-winning DJ. You've done premiere gospel shows. You've done multiple things. You know, you've done multiple sets, multiple weddings and shows and stuff like that. You know the scene.
Okay.
She said, okay.
Depends what you're going to ask or say, innit?
Let me keep it humble. Let me keep it humble. You know the scene, you know, you're a key player, especially within the UK. Like, I know a lot of our audience are international, but especially within the UK. There's been a lot of conversations recently about the UK gospel scene. And we're not about controversy or anything like that, but we would love to just know and see your take on what you think the UK gospel scene is like right now.
Do you know what? Instead of talking about it from that angle, because I've spoken about it a lot from that angle, what I am going to say is like the controversy and things that has happened in the last few months, it really did bring us together. I feel like if that didn't happen, would we be in the space that we're in right now? I really feel like we've come together a lot more. There's a lot more conversations. There's a lot more about what can we do with to push this forward, like those kinds of conversations. And I don't know, we're becoming more close-knit and more like a family. So although what happened was really annoying and I don't know, it wasn't a nice thing, what's come from it is amazing. And I'm really happy that what's come from it has come from it. I wish it never happened in that way, but I'm happy like how we're all coming together now, how we're building the scene now, like even within group chats and stuff like that, we're just adding people. Like we're on a different vibe right now, and I love the trajectory of it, like us like all coming together, one vision, like pushing for one thing. So even though it's been crazy in the last few months, like I'm just really happy that we're all coming together and we're all on one accord, basically. So if that had to happen for us to come on one accord, let it happen. Like what the enemy made for bad, God turns around for good.
It's true.
So I think something positive and great is going to come from it. We're going to see a lot more concerts, a lot more collaborations, a lot more supporting each other. And yeah, I'm here for it. 100%.
That's so good. That's really, really good. And so true as well, because even when you compare like the UK, and you shouldn't because they're very different, but even when you compare the UK scene to the American scene, I remember speaking to some American artists and constantly having to be like, oh, you know, we have a small scene, or it's just this, it's just that. It's like, no, actually, there's not do that loads of us. There's no need to do any of that.
Bare of us.
We're not complaining. We're not comparing anything to anyone. And we're all doing our own thing. Yet we're united in the fact that this is for Jesus, like this is for God, what we're doing. And even like after conversations were being had on Twitter and stuff, I remember, so one of our SheHH girls, she was in series 2, is Shireen. Love Shireen.
Love her.
Love Shireen. Amazing. We love Shireen here.
Big fan,
okay. And that album, In Full Bloom, is one of the best things to drop in 2021. 100%. I am so sorry. I would take anybody on that. That album, fantastic,
amazing,
great body
quality, like everything, message, vocals, arrangements, writing, instruments, like there's nothing I could change about it. In
Peace of God, one of the songs, Peace of God, there's a choir, like there's choir like vocals in that song. I said, this girl has done choir vocals. This girl, I said, huh?
She did dance, she did this, she did that. She gave us everything she had in that album.
Like, that was a beautiful album.
Love it.
After conversations on Twitter, I remember people being like, oh, have you guys heard this? I said, we've been playing this one. We've been bagging it. And it's so sweet now. Like, it's really, like, I literally was having conversations. Someone was like, oh, do you know Shireen? I was like, the Shireen that was on my podcast ages ago, because we knew about this. I love that people are waking up to the scene and actually giving it props.
From Beautiful Savior, we knew.
From Beautiful, I was in uni. From Beautiful Savior,
we knew.
Okay,
like,
Dreams.
From day.
We knew.
Nights like this. Asher. Like
Asher's another one. We even talk about Asher. Like, do you know how amazing it is to me now to see people actually care about things that we've been caring about? And I think that this is part of revival.
Yeah, it is, you know.
This is part of revival.
It's new school revival. I don't know if people are clocking it, you know.
I don't know if I feel like people are starting to awake, especially Christians are starting to awaken.
Non-Christians, no, Shireen, you know.
Non-Christians. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
If Armour plays in a club, do you think anyone's going to be like, why is this playing? They're going to be dancing. Yeah. They're going to be like, this is amazing. Yeah. This is new school revival. And I'm so encouraged and so blessed to be a part of this scene. Yeah. I sometimes feel like a complete imposter because I'm like, me, myself, I'm not an artist. But even just as a fan.
You add value, man. I don't think you see it like, no, but you add value. Being a fan of something and supporting it and doing what you can to push it forward is needed as much as the song is needed or the DJ is needed or the producer is needed. Everyone has their part. Like, we're one body. So the eyes needed, the head, the toe, everything. Everyone is needed. So never think like what you are is too small. Like, isn't like the smallest bone in your ear or something like that. Like, you wouldn't be able to hear, or if you didn't have your little toe, you wouldn't be able to balance.
Yeah, stuff like that.
No one's too small within the scene. Like, everyone has their part to play, and focus on what God has given you and doing it well. And then it will come together. Literally, that's all we need, is everyone to play their part. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right.
That's the thing. Tunnel vision. Like, I think what we were seeing before is everyone looking like, oh, this person's doing this. Yeah. This person's doing that. I'm not doing. It's now everyone's kind of like, no, actually, I'm very much established in my genre. Yeah. In what I sound like, in what I look like, in how I write. Yeah. Because I might not be writing songs like Shireen, but if I was writing songs, they would still be a blessing in the space that they sit. Yeah. So I'm loving what you said about maybe we just needed to be shaken up a bit.
Literally, that's how I feel about it. So now I've had the shaking. I'm like, okay, what have you told me to do, God? Am I doing it? If I'm not, how do I do what you've told me to do? And so that is me. So that's why I'm producing and doing the things that I'm doing, because I'm trying to be obedient with the mission that he's given me so far. Literally. That is my space that I'm in right now.
That's so good.
Yeah, man.
We mentioned about Twitter earlier and how like a lot of this like shaking that we talk about happened online and using Twitter. Yeah. Would you say that for you, social media has been a part of your career? Or is it more of a recent thing that you've been like, actually, this is quite useful?
I think a bit of both. I think it's allowed people to know me, like explore me as a DJ and so forth. So I've been able to use it in that space. I've recently like decided to do better in terms of social media, and I recognize that I needed to do what I need to do and go where I need to go. So yeah, I'd say a bit of both, really.
Yeah, no, that's for me, that's how I actually came to discover you. Like, I don't think I've been to an event you were DJing at, but I think I saw you on socials. Actually, I know where so I knew of you, but where I knew you. Yeah. So in October 2021, Mr. Lecrae, right? Mr. Lecrae, he's so famous. He only needs to be known by Lecrae. Like, he only needs to be one. You know, I'm trying to go by just Paula, but I'm not there yet. Lecrae came to the UK, and we all thought it was for like a surprise show, but he was just here to network and meet some of the guys in our space. Okay. So he met quite a few of our like, you know, fan favorites here at the UK. So he met like Governor B and Happy. Yeah. I was so happy he met Happy. Yeah. So happy he met Happy.
You know how great Happy is?
No, sorry. I'm a Happy fangirl.
Literally.
I met Happy because he did he met some of his fans. Yeah. And he brought them food, and like he met me and came to my house and brought food. And I was literally there like, do you want me to drop down and cry right now? Like, I was so excited. He's just so good at what he does. Like, literally. This is a complete tangent now.
Yeah. My bad. It's okay. Nah, but he's so great.
He's really good.
Elite.
And he's so slept on. I'm like,
his music's elite.
And he's been doing well for a long time. And I feel like people are only just starting to wake up. Yeah. So I was really happy that he's one of the people Lecrae met. Yeah. But Limo is currently in the UK, and he met with Limo Blaze and people like that. And so it was really cool to just see him in the UK, and not here to kind of promote anything or to meet to do a show or anything, so but genuinely just to establish and work with the scene. And Lecrae has talked about having quite a big passion for like working with artists and supporting like the next generation and stuff, because he's like, you know, he's been doing this for a while. Yeah, man. So that was really encouraging to hear, and I remember seeing all the social media buzz and stuff like that. What got me real excited, okay, is because Mr. Lecrae, who by the way was the first Christian hip hop artist I ever heard in my life, in 2012 when I was a teenager, he basically went to Premier Gospel, which for those of you international is the UK's #1 like Christian radio show, right? Radio station. Yeah. he went to Premier Gospel and did a great interview with who we call Uncle Muiwa.
Yeah.
And Uncle Muiwa played one DJ Shunz song. Actually, before it came out, right? It wasn't out yet.
Before it came out. A lot of people didn't even know I had a song.
Yeah, I remember listening. I was like, oh, she does music? Okay.
Literally, that happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, because literally it hadn't dropped yet or anything. And he was just like, oh, you know, we've got this song coming out. Can you listen to it? And he actually did that with a few other artists as well.
Yeah.
All UK.
Yeah.
And the other person I saw was also a woman.
Yeah.
He's out here doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, literally.
Thank you, Uncle Muiwa. Thank you. And Lecrae listened to this, and I love that it was on the spot. Like, he wasn't told that it was going to happen because he couldn't lie. He literally was just there, like, listening to the song. And he was like, he said, you don't sound like you've been doing this for a short while. This is someone who has an ear for music, knows what they're doing. He was giving you all these compliments. He was saying, I want to hear more.
Yeah.
I just want to go through the thought process of when you saw this happen. Like, that's Lecrae, you know. That's Lecrae. Like, Lecrae.
I was so gassed. Like you said, that he was like the first Christian hip hop artist I heard when I was younger, like when I first came to the faith. And it was like, wow, like Lecrae's heard my song. I was sitting at my desk in my living room, work from home, and I was like watching it, and I was like, what? Then I ran into my bedroom and I was screaming at my husband. I was like, oh my gosh, Lecrae's heard my song, Lecrae's heard my song. Like, I was so gassed. It was like the best feeling. I was like, I have to release it now.
Yeah, you do. Like, anything you wanted to just keep behind, nope, it's got to go out.
Like, all these thoughts started flooding into my head. People don't know this, that. They're going to think, huh, what? So I was like, let me quickly record a video. So I literally did a video, like, explaining I've got a song coming out, etc. My friend edited it for me, and then, put that out, and then retweeted and, like, reposted the Lecrae thing. So I had to do, like, within, like, 1-2 hours of it coming out, because literally I hadn't said anything. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. He really outed me. He really outed me, but
he was like, I want to see more.
It's mad. I don't know if Armour would be out if he didn't do that, because the type of person I am, or where I was at the time, it was like, I didn't know if I should release it or not. I was like, should I wait for summer? Like, will people like it? Will they understand it? Because it's like so many crossover of artists and genres. I was like, people are not going to get it. So I just, you know, when you just overthink everything, I was just holding on to it for months. I had it for months and months, and I was just had it like as a master. I just had it and like had artwork and everything, and just doing nothing with it. Literally just sitting with it, man. So it really boosted me, really pushed me. So I'm so thankful for Muiwa for playing it, and for Lecrae, like the feedback, because I probably wouldn't even be sitting here if
do you know
that
how
didn't happen.
Encouraging that is? Because I feel like that's God saying, okay, cool, you need that push, bet I got you. Like
the biggest push ever.
You know, it couldn't just be something small, like a text from a friend. But it's like, no, I want to fly Lecrae from the States, from Atlanta to come to London.
God knows me, innit? Like, he knew he had to do something extreme, because you know how many people told me the song was good and that still wasn't enough. So he knew it had to be something like crazy.
That's what a blessing.
Yeah,
but that's even, that's a word. Sorry, I'm getting excited because that's a word and it's just dropped on my heart. Sometimes God knows us better than, all times God knows us better than we know ourselves. He will actually ordain paths for you that you cannot dispute that 100%. They're anybody else but him.
Yeah.
I have got to moments in my life where I'm like, oh, it's a coincidence though, but it's a coincidence. And then God has done something so big that I'm like, am I going to really look at myself in the mirror and say that was a coincidence?
Yeah.
God moved heaven and earth. Am I going to really still ignore it now?
Yeah, you can't.
Now that's disobedience. Now I'm being disobedient. So just an encouragement, like, for the people, like, if you are looking for that big sign or whatever, like, maybe you don't need to wait for that. Like, maybe God has already ordained your path to do that thing.
Yeah, literally.
You don't need everything to be, you know, spot on perfect. Just go out and release it, you know. Go and make the thing. Go and start. Like, that one single has already transformed everything. Like, everyone's out here like, oh, have you guys heard Armour? Like, I was in your listening party, and I remember the first time the person organizing had like pressed play, and I was like, do you remember, because the listening party was on Zoom, and my camera was on, so I was trying to keep, and I didn't know anyone in the room except for Manny, so I'm trying to keep composure, but I was just like, from the right now, I was like,
trying to keep still.
I was literally trying to keep still to that, but song. I was like in my room, like, it's such an encouragement just to hear like that was part of the push that got you out.
Literally big push. But I'm so thankful, man. I'm glad it's out now because, like, phew,
yeah,
like, you can breathe. But then there's the next thing, and you're like, oh, am I going to hold this as well?
But do you think that the second one will be easier now, though?
I think so, but I'm still holding. I don't know why.
I mean, there's something to be said about like giving yourself the time, though. It's not like, oh, now because I've put one out, I need to rush them all. Like, you know, give yourself the time. But also, we want more music. Thank you.
It's there. It's coming.
So outside of the new song coming out, like, what have you got to look forward to coming in the future?
You know what? It's really exploring that side of myself. I want to learn how to make beats and stuff. So that's one big thing. So one day you'll hear like, I produced this beat and this is my song and so forth. Writing more. So more songs that I've written or co-written will come out, and just more collaborations. I'd like to work like cross countries as well, not just UK. And yeah, that's it for me really. And just events, carry on building events. And try and build stuff for like the next generation or help people in the next generation. So if there's DJs coming up, like if there's anything I do, like teach, so forth, that's something I'm thinking about as well. So yeah, we'll see what God does, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just being a servant, man, doing what God wants me to do. Literally.
For real.
Literally.
Yeah, no, I love that you said, oh, maybe one day like teaching or passing on the baton.
I don't want to DJ forever. My back, it can't take it.
Imagine with your walking stick, you're still like...
No. We want to be retiring and passing the baton on.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's good though. That's good. Wow, yeah. I love that you're actually, you know that's a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Legacy. That's what it's all about.
I mean, that question's coming up soon because we're really big on legacy here at SheHH.
Yeah.
But I did want to say, like, I was speaking to another guest for the podcast, and I was like, oh yeah, we're really excited, we've got DJ Shunz on here. Like, I didn't think we'd find a female DJ, because with SheHH we're really big on people in the front and the back of the scene. Obviously you're now an artist as well, but a lot of the people that are artists, but we also wanted like producers, you know, DJs, music managers, things like that. And she was like, oh wow, you found a female DJ, I only know one. And I said, I only know two. You're one. I know of another one I've never spoken to, but I've seen her on socials. Yeah. I'm like, rah, there's really not that many of you guys doing it in the Christian scene.
Yeah, within Christian, I don't
because
know
in the secular scene, that's not that surprising.
Nah,
but
not.
in the Christian scene, I really struggle to be like, if you're finding someone for a party or for a wedding, you want Christian music, like, almost always they are male DJs.
I don't even know of the two others I know. I don't think they even do events like that. I know they do radio, but I don't know if they do events. I can't think of anyone. Do
you know why that is? I mean, that's a big question. That's a really big question.
I have no idea. Like, I don't have an answer for it.
Why is it's so strange to me that there's a lot of spaces that's still not taken up by women. Yeah. So I pray and I hope that having you on here encourages those that want to do it, because there are definitely women that are interested in sound. There are definitely women interested in production, interested in this, like, that don't necessarily want to be singing, you know, Tasha Cobbs, you know, no offense, I love Tasha Cobbs, you know, love Tasha. So yeah, I pray that you being here is an encouragement to them that this is another form of ministry, because maybe they only see music ministry as the singy bits or the rappy bits and stuff. I know there's actually the bits of getting music to people at events, you know, in on tour, stuff like that. That's really beautiful to me, and I'm really grateful that you're here to show that this is an example of how it can be done. So that was not even a question, it was just encouragement. Thank you for doing that.
Encouragement's nice. It's needed sometimes.
It's needed. It's true. If you ever need encouragement, I'm your girl. I got you. But we are gonna get into the end of the interview. It's been great having you. Really appreciate you. And like I said, we're really big on legacy here at SheHH. Our kind of classic ender question is, what would you like your legacy to be? When it's your time to go, what would you like people to say when they say your name?
Do you know what? I just want to be remembered as someone that's like helpful and nice and kind and like impacted someone's life. Like, oh, Shunz did this or she did that, or she made me smile or she made me laugh or have fun, or just positive really. I don't have like a specific thing because I don't know how God's going to use me in the future and going forward. But yeah, I just want to, as my friend would say, leave this place empty. Like, I want to pour everything out that God has given me, use every talent that he's given me and showcase everything that he's given me. So I just want to leave empty and like impact lives and just, set other people up to do the same, basically. So I don't feel like, I'm going to hoard this gift of DJing or producing or whatever. I don't mind like collaborating, being around other people learning from me, asking me questions and so forth. Like anyone would say that. Like anyone would say they can ask me anything and I'm there, I'm helpful. So yeah, that's my legacy that I want to leave, really.
That's so encouraging.
Yeah, man.
I love that. We always love to hear that people are willing to kind of pour out.
Yeah, because what am I holding it for?
It's true.
God gave it to me freely, so freely I give, innit?
There you go.
Literally scripture.
That's good. That's good. No, we really, really appreciate having you on the podcast. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I know that people have been blessed listening, watching this, and encouraged to keep going. So this is us as well, just kind of saying thank you for what you do. We appreciate you. Go forth and continue. And we're excited to hear more from you as well.
Thank you. I'm excited to see more SheHH, mate.
Yeah.
Bring them on.
Amen.
Binge watching.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating wherever you're listening to this and to follow us on Instagram at SheHH Podcast.